Microsoft Account is a single sign-on web service developed and provided by Microsoft that allows users to log into websites, devices, and applications using one account. History: Microsoft Passport, the predecessor to Windows Live ID, was originally positioned as a single sign-on service for all web commerce. Microsoft Passport had received much criticism. A prominent critic was Kim Cameron, the author of The Laws of Identity, who questioned Microsoft Passport in its violations of those laws. He has since become Microsoft's chief identity architect and helped address those violations in the design of the Windows Live ID identity meter system. As a consequence, Windows Live ID is not positioned as the single sign-on service for all web commerce, but as one choice of many among identity systems. In December 1999, Microsoft neglected to pay their annual $35 Passport.com domain registration fee to Network Solutions. The oversight made Hotmail, which used the site for authentication, unavailable on Christmas Eve, December 24. A Linux consultant, Michael Chaney, paid it the next day, hoping it would solve this issue with the down site. The payment resulted in the site being available the next morning. In autumn 2003, a similar Good Samaritan helped Microsoft when they missed payment on the hotmail.co address, although no downtime resulted. In 2001, the Electronic Frontier Foundation's staff attorney Deborah Pierce criticized Microsoft Passport as a potential threat to privacy after it was revealed that Microsoft would have full access to and usage of customer information. The privacy terms were quickly updated by Microsoft to allay customers' fears. In July and August 2001, the Electronic Privacy Information Center and a coalition of 14 leading consumer groups filed complaints with the Federal Trade Commission alleging that the Microsoft Passport system violated Section 5 of the Federal Trade Commission Act, which prohibits unfair or deceptive practices in trade. In 2003, Faisal Danker, a British Indian IT risk and security executive, revealed a serious flaw in Microsoft Passport, through which any account linked to Microsoft Passport or Hotmail could easily be cracked by using any common browser. Microsoft had pushed for non-Microsoft entities to create an Internet-wide unified login system. Examples of sites that used Microsoft Passport were eBay and Monster.com, but in 2004 those agreements were cancelled. In August 2009, Expedia sent notice out stating they no longer support Microsoft Passport/Windows Live ID. In 2012, Windows Live ID was renamed Microsoft Account. Overview: Microsoft Account allows users to sign into websites that support this service using a single set of credentials. Users' credentials are not checked by Microsoft Account-enabled websites, but by a Microsoft Account Authentication Server. A new user signing into a Microsoft Account-enabled website is first redirected to the nearest authentication server, which asks for username and password over an SSL connection. The user may select to have their computer remember their login. A newly signed-in user has an encrypted time-limited cookie stored on their computer and receives a triple DES encrypted ID tag that previously has been agreed upon between the authentication server and the Microsoft Account-enabled website. This ID tag is then sent to the website, upon which the website plants another encrypted HTTP cookie in the user's computer, also time-limited. As long as these cookies are valid, the user is not required to supply a username and password. If the user actively logs out of their Microsoft account, these cookies will be removed. Microsoft Account offers a user two different methods for creating an account. Use an existing email address. Users are able to use their own valid email address to sign up for a Microsoft account. The service turns the requesting user's email address into a Microsoft account. User may also choose a password of their own choice. Sign up for a Microsoft email address. Users can also sign up for an email account with Microsoft's email services designated domains that can be used as a Microsoft account to sign into other Microsoft account-enabled websites. Microsoft websites, services, and apps such as Bing, MSN and Xbox Live use Microsoft Account as a mean of identifying users. There are also several other companies that use it, such as the Hoyts website which is hosted by 9MSN. Windows XP and later has an option to link a Windows user account with a Microsoft account, thus automatically logging users into Microsoft account whenever a service is accessed. Starting with Windows Server 2012, Windows allows users to directly authenticate into their PCs using their Microsoft account, rather than a local or domain user. Web authentication. On August 15, 2007, Microsoft released the Windows Live ID Web Authentication SDK, enabling web developers to integrate Windows Live ID into their websites running on a broad range of web server platforms, including ASP.NET, Java, Perl, PHP, Python and Ruby. Support for OpenID. On October 27, 2008, Microsoft announced that it was publicly committed to supporting the OpenID framework, with Windows Live ID becoming an OpenID provider. This would allow users to use their Windows Live ID to sign into any website that supports OpenID authentication. There had been no update on Microsoft's planned implementation of OpenID since August 2009, however since November 2013 Microsoft have publicly participated in OpenID Connect interoperability testing. Features: Microsoft Account is the website for users to manage their identity. Features of a Microsoft account include, updating users' information such as first and last names, address, etc. associated with the account. Updating user settings, such as preferred language or preferences for email communications. Changing or resetting user passwords. Close the account. Few billing details associated with the account. Integrated with Windows NT, Groove Music, Microsoft Cortana, Microsoft Movies and TV, Windows Store, Windows Feedback. Windows Phone, Windows Phone Store. Bing, Calendar, Exchange Online Protection, Office 365, Office Online, OneDrive, Outlook.com, People, Skype, System Center Advisor, Visual Studio, Windows Azure, Windows Insider Program, XBOX Live. Security vulnerabilities. On June 17, 2007, Eric Dwindum, a web developer in the Netherlands, reported a privacy and identity risk, saying a critical error was made by Microsoft programmers that allows everyone to create an ID for virtually any email address. A procedure was found to allow users to register invalid or currently used email addresses. Upon registration with a valid email address, an email verification link was sent to the user. Before using it, however, the user was allowed to change the email address to one that did not exist, or to an email address currently used by someone else. The verification link then caused the Windows Live ID system to confirm the account as having a verified email address. That flaw was fixed 2 days later, on June 19, 2007. On April 20, 2012, Microsoft fixed a flaw in Hotmail's password reset system that allowed anyone to reset the password of any Hotmail account. The company was notified of the flaw by researchers at Vulnerability Lab on the same day and responded with a fix within hours, but not before widespread attacks as the exploitation technique spread quickly across the Internet. See also, Identity Management System, List of single sign-on implementations, Other identity services, Active Directory Federation services, OpenID, Lightweight Identity, YAIDs, Windows Card Space, Identity Management, Liberty Alliance, Oasis, Windows Hello. References. Further reading, Creating a Windows Live ID Account, Introduction to Windows Live ID White Paper provides a brief overview of the Windows Live ID service in the context of Microsoft's overall identity strategy. Understanding Windows Live Delegated Authentication White Paper describes how a website can use the Windows Live ID Delegated Authentication System to get permission to access users' information on Windows Live services. Windows Live ID Federation White Paper describes the concept of identity federation and offers considerable detail about how the Windows Live ID service supports it. External links, official website.